We're apparently going live.
Tony Caravan. You've been subjected to a highly sophisticated form of propaganda.
It's just what you need, not what you don't.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I just wasted an hour trying to get a Autocom Pro XL MDX 1600 Composer Pro XL MDX, whatever. Trying to get this thing to work. You know, and quite frankly, I've used it before in a chain. User manual. You ever see one of these things? Can you see the light? Probably not. I don't know. The lighting's weird today. It's 4:35 in the morning. I wanted to add like some nice compression, improve the vocal quality. It had has a limiter and all that. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be working. I saw some bug crawling around it too. Does that gross you out? Yeah, it grosses me out.
You're listening to Tony Caravan Live.
So, as they usually say,
Good morning.
bright, well, I should say a dark good morning to you. At least my photo face is here. I also tried hooking up some Logitech thing that was supposed to give me some options in viewing options, and now it seems to be defaulting on this amateur hour studio. Don't worry, folks. We'll get to the show. This should keep you, those who tuned in for the card. Jessica. It's coming. This is how the show works. If you're new to the show, it takes us a little while, okay? Because we've got some things to deal with, right? Like number one, we have to deal with the weather. So,
Weekend weather.
no, it's not weekend. It's only Wednesday. But today, in my neck of the woods, it's 36 degrees outside being reported by the weather stations. Now, you know the weather stations are at airports and buildings. I talk about this all the time. But on the ground, if it's 36 degrees being reported on tarmacs where jet engines are spewing out heat, or buildings in cities, you know, that have HVAC systems spewing out heat where compressed people are and all that, parking lots and buildings that generate their own, cities generate their own climate, at least a Celsius degree higher than what the planet is. So when it says it's 36 or 34 degrees, down on the ground level where we're growing crops, it's freezing, man. It's frost. So it's looking to me that now it's going to be this way for right through till about 8 a.m. And the reason I had weekend weather on is because the weekend is looking like Friday 64. You're not planning your weekend on Wednesday. That's what you'd really do, right? You know, you want to have a date. Ice cold diet Pepsi, Michael Jackson's favorite drink. Did you ever see that video? They actually had the video where his head caught on fire. Pretty sick stuff that's on the internet. Anyway, what's supposedly going to happen is going to be Friday 64, low 43, Saturday 66, possibility of thunderstorms, low 45, Sunday 66, overnight 48. So I'm planning to plant, because Thursday, tomorrow, it's supposed to be 63, partial sun and clouds, and the overnight's supposed to only be 43. I shouldn't plant, and maybe I won't. I'll wait till Friday, because hopefully there'll be some more sun in the ground over the next couple days. But tonight it's going to be 37 frickin' degrees. Anyway, that's the look ahead. Your
Weekend weather.
On
the only station that matters.
That's right. And you're listening to
I am your main connection to the switchboard of souls. I'm the magic man.
Yeah. And on with the show. Let's get rid of that. And let's look at. So if you looked at the title card, which is basically YouTube's version of the meme, it's really cool. And I wish I should make these things available for printout because, man, this is a cool poster for somebody. In fact, I'm going to print this out right now. Like I have that Jessica. It's a waste of color ink. But the price of ink on my old printer has gone down. So as long as they keep it in stock, I'm going to print this out. Low toner. I know. Let's see. There was some app or something that's telling me got updated. DuckDuckGo Privacy Essentials. Glance Cam. Let's quit out of that. I'm going to run over to the printer. It's right over there. It'll only take me a sec. Or 3 or 5. Yes, indeed. I got to put the headphones on because of this getup I have. And I don't mean this clothes getup. I mean this audio getup. Man, I wasted an hour on that limiter. But I mean, you saw the title card, but like here's a close-up, if we can get that. Look at that. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and The Punisher. The morning show. I mean, this would be a great poster, wall poster, right? And now we definitely want to talk about that. So as I normally do, I'm going to click on the edit button and give you this, the title of this show. It probably is like totally freaking out the algorithm already. It says tough chicks, hard ass men, right? And the description, which is found down below, if you're looking at this like normal people on a desktop or a laptop, the problem is simple, : pop culture is politics, and there are too many wimps in positions of power and authority. Not to mention all the false idols and their cult of personality. Do you know who I'm talking about? The false idols and the cult of personality? If you do, if you don't, or put it this way, if you do and you are part of that, you definitely will turn this off. Pop culture is politics, and there are too many wimps in positions of power and authority. We're winding down now, because those who have been watching are eligible for their doctorate degree to be a doctor of truth. And this is the certificate, which is available on the locals site. You got to make, you got to give you could download a JPEG and print this out and frame this on like the most expensive frame you could find. And you're a doctor. And what you do is at the top where it says this certifies that. See, what you do, you can take that JPEG file, put it in a Word file or a Mac preview file, and use like a calligraphy font or something. And in that space, you just add your name. Nice, big is like where it says Doctor of Truth. Underneath this certifies that in that area, but you want it to be the size of like Doctor of Truth. You put your name. And it would be, this certifies that, state your name, like in Animal House, has successfully completed the doctorate program, Ph.D., in 21st century human behavior / indoctrination, conditioning, and propaganda by the global corporatocracy. Doctor of Truth. This is how you mess with people. You know, it's like you got to have fun with this, and it's like semi-abusive fun, but it's fun. It's like my shirts, get one of those things. I don't know why you can't see it. Everything you know is wrong. And my other classic, right? You don't know what you don't know. And all this other happy horse shit you can get from Great Solar stuff, like the NOAA radio light, which I used today to try to figure out how to work this composer thing. Man, what a waste of time. And of course, the on-air light, which is dim, it's not because it's being powered by the jackery. It's because I need to get an extra. I got one of these things. So I originally set it up with this, which looks like it's bright, right? But watch, it's going to like go through some kind of like, see, it like instantly dims and it's going to turn red or something. It like decided to change into like auto something or other. I don't know. Let's say, yeah, like it's like flying UFO now or something. I was showing this on the Mulder show. Well, anyway, I had two of these powered in that on-air light, but now I got to go and buy something else. Nothing you get works, you know? Do you ever do this?
Hey, it's me. How you doing, man?
Call yourself. I'm doing all right, buddy. Good to hear from you.
Here's what's happening.
Assuming my voice isn't like totally like ridiculously like popping or doing something weird because I had all of the wiring, all these tubes and wires, like Thomas Dolby would sing, taken apart this morning. I mean, I'm hearing myself. Hopefully you're even hearing this. We're about 8 days away from having successfully had 100 consecutive morning shows, right? 100 consecutive every day, no day off. One that YouTube took down itself, right? It just said that was you. I was misrepresenting something, though they don't know what they're talking about, right? I've got a doctorate degree in this stuff. They don't know. They said I was misrepresenting something. Bunch of wimps, right? And then the other one, I had to take down the St. Patrick's Day show because they were threatening a copyright strike because I played some tunes. That 5-hour marathon show where I drank on air. Of course, there still is a show up you can find where I did drink for about 4 hours on air. It's like, I should do that today. It's just that the thing about drinking is that I'm a music drinker. Say what? I mean, I like to listen to loud music when I drink. And if YouTube was cool and they paid their royalties, and I have this 10,000 song music collection and all these great, sound effects, half of which I got from the legendary Tattoo. I mean, we'd be having a ball. But YouTube isn't cool. They're wimps. They're wimpy people. And that's like I'm trying to say here. The problem is simple. Pop culture is politics. Why the heck is pop culture politics, man? And there are too many wimps in positions of power and authority, not to mention all the false idols and their cult of personality. Okay? This is pop culture, man. Comic book heroes. That's pop culture. Okay? The miniskirt is pop culture. Jessica Jones, the character, is one tough chick, hard drinking, tough chick. And you know what? They hate that. And you know who they are, the wimps in charge of everything. They hate that. They canceled this show. You know, they canceled all those shows. Luke Cage canceled, The Punisher. They can't deal with that, man. But actually, the actress of Jessica Jones, she's like she's a real natural beauty. I have to double check her name. Let's see. I want to give her credit. Jessica Jones, actress. Kristen Ritter. Yeah. She's a doll. She's actually, she was born in 81, so she's like 39. Thought she might be a little bit younger than that, but I don't care. That's a perfect age for a woman. That's like the ideal age for a woman is her late 30s. You know, they're like totally some of the best I've had have been women at that age, you know. Yeah. Good age for a woman.
I think all three of you popped your stoppers.
I'm great. What was that? What was that? Who was that guy?
We're on a mission from God. Next time it may be different. You believe me, boy, there'll be a next time. You believe me, boy, there'll be a next time. That's gonna be fun.
Every day's a fun day. I don't know why that cut off at the end. My computer's going against me. It's fighting against me. I saw a bug. When I was putting in that thing, was hiding in the composer or something. Life is weird. But life is good, you know.
Hey, it's me. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm trying to be lively. You know, it's hard. You know, I think I got up at 3:09 this morning. 3:09. And like I said, I wasted about an hour trying to get this. Well, first of all, I had to disconnect this composer limiter, you know, compressor unit out of an upstairs. I had it in a thing that's not being used right now, a rack, they call it. And, you know, then try and hooked it up 5,000 ways. And then I just finally said, this is getting crazy. I got to get the show started. It's 4:52 a.m. in the former United States. That's Eastern Standard Time for you folks. And in case I didn't mention, it's April or May. I keep saying that. It's May 12th, 2021, though. Finally, I was talking to someone on the phone who's one of these progressives, you know, definitely left winger. And even she was out walking, calls me on her cell phone. She says, it feels like March. I said, yeah, you got it right. Right. So maybe you ought to tell your global warming friends that this is about the 10th year in a row that we've skipped spring. I was saying the other day, you know, it's what we have 6 or 7 months of winter. We're lucky if we get 1 month of spring, 1 month of fall, and then 3 months of summer, June, July, August. But more than half the year is winter. The earth is cooling, and it has been cooling. It has been cooling. You know that.
Okay.
No, it's not a joke, baby.
Hey, it's me. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. See, it's a good day. And not in the neighborhood necessarily, though the dog didn't bark all night long. That whatever. There was some woman out there the other night. Hello, is there someone there? Well, there was somebody from like Animal Rescue or something. The dog stopped barking, but I heard it bark like sporadically. I thought the guys either abandoned it or took it away. But I don't mess with other people's stuff, you know, because I don't want I don't want to cause any trouble.
It's an excursion into the odd and into the very, very different.
Yeah, and for some of us,
This is a nightmare. Must be a nightmare.
you bet it.
Your papers, please.
I went to my doctor yesterday for my routine appointment. All I do is I get my antipsychotic drugs. No. Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, I just get a prescription. They've been giving me this prescription for like 10 years because I got it issued it once and when I was in the hospital 10 years ago for a heart flutter or something. But it's actually, when I looked it up, it's like an antipsychotic or something like that. I mean, let's see. Let's look it up and see what it is again. And they keep renewing it. And this doctor I have, excuse me. Yeah. Let's see. Side effects, interactions, pictures. Let's see. Okay. Is used to prevent and control seizures. Well, I don't have that problem. This medication is known as an anticonvulsant and anti-epileptic drug. That is totally weird. It's also used to treat panic attacks. Works by calming your brain and nerves. It belongs in a class of drug called benzodiazepines. Take this medicine in my mouth as directed by your doctor 2 or 3 times a day. Okay. They just keep giving me this, and this new doctor I have, he doesn't know. And I don't know who originally, I wasn't prescribed by a psychiatrist. Dosage is based on your medical condition. Do not stop taking this medication. When this medication is used for a long time, it may not work as well. Talk with your doctor. Yeah, because I've noticed it doesn't work. They upped the dosage on me like 2 months ago. And I should have had him like gone for the super high dose, but instead I just went 1 mg up. Though it helps many people, this medication sometimes causes addiction. Well, I don't think I'm addiction. Such as overuse, addiction to drugs or alcohol. Nah, I just drink this. I drink less than I drank before. If you have several type of disorders, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. So, yeah. And now you're saying, aha, that's why he went on that little crazy thing before. Look at his eyes. Nah, I go to the doctor. And so that they just keep giving me this prescription of this stuff. And what I do is I take it at night to go to sleep, like a sleeping pill. Because I tried taking that, what's it called? Begins with an M. The stuff that's in turkey you could get in a pill. Melatonin or something like that. And that like keeps me up. That's like, you know, I don't care about admitting this stuff now. It's like when I was younger, if I took some kind of like upper type of thing, right? I would like mellow me out. I wouldn't get hyper. It's the same as when I drink. When I drink, I'm not like one of those crazy, drinker type of people. It's like I'm just like mellow. And how I started this whole story is I just wanted, excuse me, I like to, just the Tony Caravan live show, as what's her face says. I know she's never going to listen to the show.
You're listening to Tony Caravan Live.
Yeah. She ain't listening. I know she ain't listening. But I like I like the nightlife. I like to boogie. But I used to like the nightlife and I like to boogie, but I don't boogie anymore. And you can't boogie anymore, especially since the boogie man is out there. You got to watch out and wear that. But music, I can't drink without music and without like loud music. I like to enjoy music, or, it's either loud party music or, I could, or sit around and, I don't do it as much as I used to, but when I used to do my lounge show in the 90s and stuff, listen to like crooner like Sinatra, and it's 4:45. That kind of stuff. Or Diana Krall, these like singers, or Tom Waits before he stopped drinking. Do you ever notice a lot of these people, they stop drinking and stuff, and then they're like, now he's turned into like some kind of circus clown. I mean, it's sad in a way, but
Your papers, please.
your papers, please. So the doctor, to make the long story longer and complete this thing, because after all,
You're listening to Tony Caravan Live.
Hey, it's me. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. And so the idea was that, did you get your shot yet? He said to me. I said, no, I don't trust the FDA. He said, did we have this conversation the last time? I think this guy's like on his way to retiring. He only he comes in once, has our office hours once a week, or once every other week, 1 day a week. So he's up to something. His wife, it's like his wife is also a doctor. She's a good-looking woman. They're both older, but man, she's a good-looking woman. That guy lucked out. I'm divorced twice. Relationships have fell apart. I'm a confirmed bachelor now, me and my cat. Right. So it's like the best I could do is fall in love with Jessica Jones. Hard ass chicks, hard drinking chicks. I'll get to some more about the superheroes and Marvel superheroes. The worst thing that happened last year is we lost Stan Lee. It was last year Stan Lee died. I think it was last year. If it wasn't last year, it was the year before. But either way, it was one of the, to me, that was like, that should have been like a national mourning. Think of what Stan Lee, compared to these other, like all this cult of personality, all these other people. Just think about what Stan Lee gave to the world, but particularly like Western, civilization. But I mean, really the whole world. Yeah, that should have been like flags at No Mass Day, This stuff, I could see how you could get addicted to this. These mainstream colas that probably have the thing in it, the plague. It's like I was trying to say, everybody was under lockdown, and then this thing was suddenly spreading like wildfire. It was in like this is a LARP, a live action role playing show. Okay? Do you understand that? You algorithmic censors and wimps. This is a LARP, what I am about to say. The handkerchief. Hello, Dolly. Hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you back. Where you? I'll probably get a copyright hit because that kind of sounded like Satchmo. He didn't like being called Satchmo. Louis Armstrong. I saw Louis Armstrong live on the Steel Pier in Atlantic City, and he had a white handkerchief because he was sweating so much when he sang. It was like Robin Williams doing an HBO comedy special, right? Did you ever see that? It's like, it's funny. It's watching him drink 17, 20 glasses of water and sweat profusely is funnier than his jokes, Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Hey, it's me. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing fine.
Okay.
So, wimps are in charge. So, this LARP. So, what was the LARP about? Oh, So everybody's down and locked up, right? This is a LARP. This is just an idea, okay? Screenplay idea. Screenplay alert. And they put it in the food, the stuff they were exporting from you know where, right? It's crazy what's going on, you know? You have no freedom of speech. You know, comedy's dead. Then people watch guys like Joe Rogan who sold out, right? And now has become the Oprah Winfrey for like men on steroids, like MMA fighters. Sorry, guys. You know, look, I like the Punisher, and I bet you some of you MMA guys, you know, you could dig the Punisher. Yeah, but screw Joe Rogan. He was an idiot. Luke Cage, man, is one mean motherfucker. But they won't even put Luke Cage on, and he's a man of color. But these three were my favorites. Favorite Marvel comic characters turned into, you know, Netflix shows. They were all on Netflix, and I think you can still watch some of them. I'm not sure. I went back and watched a couple Jessica Joneses again because I just dig her, you know. And I think I even went back and watched some Luke Cage's. You know, he's bulletproof. And the Punisher, of course, I went back and watched the second season of Punisher. There's only like 2 seasons of the Punisher. Yeah. There's no wimps there. You know, and they're all good people. That's the whole thing. You know, in Marvel Comics, you know, see, Marvel's so much cooler than DC. Because like DC, you have like I watched like Supergirl, you know, they got a shitload of episodes of Supergirl available. And I was watching that just to like before I just spilled soda splashed onto my something I've had for like 1,000 years. I am immortal, you know that, right? But immortality has its negative things because you're a man out of time. So I'm writing a book about that this year. That will be considered my 10th book, even though I sometimes say I have 10 books. I know it's confusing. I actually have 11 books, but they've been combined. One is out of print. So technically there are 9 books for sale right now on Amazon. And these wimps and algorithms have the nerve to say that I'm misrepresenting things. How many books did you write? Right? The classic. Oh, here we go. Let's do the Alpha and Omega. It just happens to be here. This is the first book, the one that started it all, Tony Caravan. I wasn't intending to write any more books after this. This was just the classic iconic thing. There's a shirt, you get a shirt with that icon on it. And of course it's in the background there. I just wrote it. You know, this is me in Hollywood. And then this is Infinity. Actually, this is book 8. Book 9. What is even in that? Oh, I'll tell you how much out of it I am. Codex. Book 9. I don't know who that guy is on the back of the cover. That's my 9th book. They're available. Buy them in print. You can get them on Kindle or Apple. You can go to Apple Books and get it there and stuff like that. I think some of the stuff's even on Google Books or something or whatever the heck it was. They used to be. But reading a book or being a cheapskate, because I think you can get the books for like $1.99 on Kindle or something. Spend the $12.95 and get the hard copy. Then you have it. You can refer to it. You know, you could hold it in your hand. You put it in your bag when you're going on a plane ride or a bus ride or a train ride or the back seat of somebody's car. You know? But I'm working on my 10th book, and it's A Man Out of Time. And it's going to be a flow of consciousness. That's the concept behind it. Though it may well have the lyrics, unless I included them in the 9th book or not. But see, my 8th book was mainly just a compendium of like some close to 50 songs, beat poetry tracks that I had written, the beat poetry as opposed to and you know, anyway, that's my story. So for those just tuning in.
Hey, it's me. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing fine. I really am doing fine. So,
attention, people of Earth, I have an important announcement to make.
So these wimps have taken charge, and these other, what did I refer to it again? I have to go back to the description. The problem is simple. Pop culture is politics, and we know that. That's ridiculous. Who cares about politics? They're all nobodies. And there are too many wimps in positions of power and authority, not to mention all the false idols and their cult of personality. So, yeah, when did politics become pop culture? When did politics? This is pop culture, man. All right? You know, the reason that I had these other problems with like this because I've been trying to mess with this GUI, all right? This graphical user interface that's put out by the wimps at YouTube Studio. Right? They send things out. How to get more viewers, how to make your thing, blah, blah, blah. Here's what you can do. How to add subtitles to your videos. And you get these like emails from them because you're a YouTuber. It's like, who cares about that? How about why don't you just put a PIP, picture in picture, on this thing so I can like post, be talking to you right now. We could be looking at a picture of Jessica Jones. Why don't you do that? You don't know how to do it. That's why you do not know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. They're using our technology. We created the internet. We created all of this stuff. And they're using it, and they're sitting around drinking Starbucks coffee, making 6 and 7 figures and saying, oh, look at, we're such and such. So now let's get involved with some kind of social justice warrior cause. Warrior? You're a wimp. Okay? You're a wimp. These are warriors. Okay? And the people who were overseas in the Middle East who fought for freedom and then came home, some broken, many broken, came home and did all that sacrifice for freedom. And they came home and found out that the First Amendment, there's no freedom anymore. They trampled on the Constitution, and they're taking away more and more freedoms every day because the wimps are in charge. And they call themselves social justice warriors. Warriors. They're wimps. Mommy, the world is getting hotter. Hey, listen, baby. And I want to call you baby. Listen, you moron. Right? Wannabe slut. Because they're all like newts. It's like, listen, freak. I think I got 8 shows left. I don't care if they take the shows off. Right? I've got TonyCaravanLive.com, TonyCaravanLive.locals.com. They do something here, I'll be on those areas. All right. And of course, I have Rock Flux. This YouTube channel is technically Rock Flux. That's what it's called, Rock Flux.
Rock Flux Live.
Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
Well, let's hear it.
Insert your station call letters here.
Here we go.
I gotta go.
You're clear to go. Hey, don't think this sounds really cool.
That's what it should be like. I should be going right into music. That's the beginning of Virtual Cage. I won't get a hit on that because it's like not enough, you know. So drinking with music, you know, VJs. You should be able to be a VJ, right? You know, what's their problem? And then what's the problem with all you people out there that like refuse to, you know, there's all these alternative places, right? Like there's BitChute, right? That has videos, and, you know, even places like Minds, I believe you can upload a video to, you know, and I put the links to these things on those sites, and you can put a video up at Locals. I think you're limited to like 30 minutes or maybe something like that. You got to, you know, it's kind of semi pay to play too, which is I'm against, you know, but people won't embrace alternatives. It's like the people on Facebook, they're just stuck there like glue, you know. And every time, you know, and there have been alternatives that have come and gone, but basically they've gone either because they've been destroyed by the, you know, big tech companies that have the monopolies on this, the corporatocracy, the organized crime syndicate that runs the world, or people just are afraid to go there. And they're afraid because they're afraid of freedom. See, they don't know what true freedom of speech is. Freedom of speech means that if some bigot wants to go on there, they can go on there. So what, right? Sticks and stones will break my bones, and names will never hurt me.
Okay.
Right? It's like TV, you know, it's like when people used to complain about TV shows. It's like you just take your remote control. You can see it. Yeah, this is a remote. This is a remote for some other thing. But for this thing, for the fire, take your remote and change the frickin' channel. Right? And if you don't like this fact that somebody on some other platform, so to speak, says something that like offends you, or if I offend you in some way, have I offended you in some way? Then you're free to change the channel or watch something different. Watch the YouTube millionaires, right? Hey, look at us. We just bought a new thing. I just found out, I saw something, these people I was watching, that's like they're suddenly worth like, you know, they quit their jobs and stuff, and they're worth like $700,000 or $1 million. YouTube millionaires. Do you know how much money I made on YouTube? Negative. I'm demonetized, not monetized. And to put on these shows and to have this equipment and stuff cost me more. Hell, it cost me money to do this, you know. Color laser printers don't come cheap. Comic book heroes, you know. And that's pop culture. That's pop culture, not politics. Not politics. You know, tough chicks, you know, tough, good-looking chicks, you know, interaction between men and women. You know, the Punisher, man. You know, these wimps, they don't even have the stomach for that. You know, the Punisher. Luke Cage is one mean motherfucker. But the nicest guy in the world. Cares about his neighborhood, cares about people, right? Nice guy. And that's the thing, you know, these wimps don't understand, you know, the idea of standing your ground. They don't understand, you know, being that way. In other words, they're wimps. They're like sneaky, right? They wait till there's some kind of event or little protest, and then at nighttime they sneaky, you know, opportunistic looters, or they're little arsonists, you know, and stuff like that, and throw things, break windows and stuff, and hide like that Antifa group. They hide under like masks. I mean, that's, I think, part of this whole thing was to like kind of normalize Antifa. That was one of my theories. I think the whole thing, you know, was basically a Chinese communist. This is a LARP now, live action role playing game, right? This is a superhero show. But I think the whole damn thing in this screenplay I'm writing is a bioweapon. A freaking bioweapon. You know, wasn't there a Fauci connection with Fort Detrick? Right? The WHO came out and said they didn't rule that out in this screenplay of mine, LARP. Those who have read it. Yeah. And now that, you know, in India and China, rocket parts are falling on India, and China, and communist Chinese are battling with India. Two nations that have the highest populations in the world are basically messing with each other. And for some reason, India now is like got the highest numbers. Yeah, because they're like releasing it. You know, it's geoengineering them. Just like there's social engineering in this country. But, you know, the idea of like, you know, the Punisher, for example, you know, I mean, there's rage there. But the idea of watching the Punisher, you know, gets that rage out. So, you know, you feel better after it. And that's kind of what that's all about. That's the way entertainment should be. Because, you know, I watch, you know, some of these shows that I don't know if this has happened to you. I don't watch them anymore, and I avoid them like the plague. Like my doctor, it's like, hey, man, no. You know, just give me the script. Walked it down to the grocery store, came back with a Italian sub, souped it up with some healthier things, sliced back the bread portion a little bit so there's less bread. Secret to making a good sub, if you make one from scratch or buy one in a store, is to hollow out the bread, you know, or cut. And if you can't hollow out the bread because they've got too much stuff in it, you know, slice off some of the bread from the outside. It's too much bread. You know, you want to enjoy that, you know, the good stuff inside. But came back, had a sub, and, you know, I did all that stuff. It's weird. You get up, it's 5:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the former United States right now. May 12th, 2021. Frost advisory this morning. Obviously, it's frost out there. And frost advisory for tomorrow. We skipped spring as usual. Had less than a month's worth of days if you put them, next to each other. Same as fall. Snowed like it was cold. It was cold like November 2nd. I keep a notebook. Keep it in print. May 10th, 11th, and 12th, frost mornings. April 22nd, Earth Day, blizzard. Everything was covered with snow. May 8th, hail. Watched it out my back window. Forecast, May 11th through May 11th is overnight in the 30s. They were right on that. See, I've got the NOAA radio here.
The yearly total since January 1st is 6, which is 6 below normal. Yesterday, the average wind speed was 11 miles per hour. The normal high temperature for today is 67 degrees, and the normal low is 48. The record high for today is 99, which occurred in 1894, and the record low is 29.
You hear that? The record high occurred in 1894 before any of this man's thing. And I that's like the NOAA weather radio. It's not like the TV bull crap or the Al Gore or the UNIPCC. I listen to this stuff every day because I'm a grower. I spend most of my time outdoors. And more I hear these highs, the high temperatures. It's like literally every day. That were like in the 30s or the 1880s or the 1840s or the 1860s. Right? Excuse me. And, like I say, it's frost right now and it's May 12th. And we're in a 4-season area, an area that used to, when I grew up, well, like I said, I'm immortal. I've been around forever. But I mean, the idea is that over the past, say, 5 or 6 decades that I've been aware of, while in this country, prior to this, I was on the planet Mars,
This is Metropolitan Police speaking. Metropolitan Police speaking. All persons are warned to stay off the streets. All persons are warned to stay off the streets.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Did you accidentally inject yourself with some kind of psychotropic agent?
Nope. I did not. So yeah, this is one of those weird shows. So some people watch my shows and they're soft-spoken shows like yesterday, it's just like the stuff. You can almost fall asleep to them because they're like 2 hours long. And some of the shows is just me talking and I just get into this thing. But then you've got these like kind of animated ones too, which is, confusing to some people, but it's a show. It's a morning show. Did you get your morning show mug or travel mug? These also come in ceramic. You could get a ceramic version. This is a metal one. It's like a camper's mug. Metal. With some kind of, I don't know if it's like, well, maybe it's just all metal. Oh. Plated with something. I can't figure that part out. So I don't know, what to do about these shows, whether I'm going to continue them after I finish the last 8 or whatever it is. I don't know how many more shows. It's like a week, a little over a week. Within a week, I will have achieved this milestone of 100 consecutive shows. Like I say, and that's why I'm offering the doctorate degree to those who have, and like I say, I recommend going to get some kind of ridiculous frame for this thing, that like extends out. Maybe you could even print it out if you have a printer, print it out on parchment paper. Parchment paper. That's like peas popping. The popping screen. Jessica Jones. Kristen, the actress. The hand thing there, in case you don't understand, this is like she's a photographer, basically a private dick, and so this is that's like somebody developing, the old fashioned way when you developed film and then you exposed a sheet of paper, photographic paper, so to make an enlargement or a print, and then you had to put it through various trays of, the developer, a fixer, and then the water tray. You used to have to do that in the printing process too, to develop negatives that you would make printing plates from. All this kind of knowledge, that I've seen over the years, experienced and worked with. Worked in dark rooms, used cameras. What the early days of this technology. How the idea of life being an experience. And how today it's not really an experience for people. It's just it's through the lens of wimps and the corporatocracy, right? Life is lived through the lens of other people. So it's not an experiential existence. But that's the whole meaning of life. The whole thing of life is that you've got 5 senses and you experience life. That's what life is. But not today. Today it's like through these nonsensical devices that people are addicted to. It's like I get these apps, because I've gotten, and then like, I don't know if you can see this. It says good morning, right? 5:32. But I've got these apps because certain things you can only do with an app, like you can't even do on a desktop. I have this giant desktop computer. I think it's like 32. The screen is like 32 inches. Let me double check. I could find that out about this Mac. Displays. 27-inch Thunderbolt display, Intel graphics. 2560 by 1440. All right. That's my display. So it's a 27-inch monitor. Glass. No longer like used, can be connected to like other Macs now or something. They discontinued this Thunderbolt somehow or something weird like that. It's all part of that, planned obsolescence stuff that's gotten completely out of control in the computer and smartphone industry. It's really ridiculous,
Can we use the network to transmit a message?
No, you can't, because they keep changing everything.
It's the best. New, real, cool. Rockin' your world radio station with more rockin'.
Quasar. It's one of tattoos. Was one of the go-to sources for those sound effects, liners, drops, IDs, whatever you want to call them. But now people like him, he and I and others sit on this stuff from days gone by, and people today can't even grasp it, don't get it. They're boring, and they're living their life through the lens of media. Politics is pop culture. People telling you things, scaring people, fear mongering. And then, like I say, these cult of personality of these false idols, which I don't mean to get on the individuals. See, the fact that someone is idolized is not their fault. Okay. That's an important thing sometimes when I criticize, because people know who I'm talking about when I talk about the cult of personality. It's the return of the man in 2024, right? That people are holding out hope for, right? And that's like a false idol, right? It's a cult of personality. It's not, so the idea is that, like, don't take offense, if you have an idol, that's you've idolized that person. You see, it's not necessarily they, who are responsible for that. But we have too many false idols, and pop culture should not be politics. Pop culture should be basically this. Pop culture should be comic books. Pop culture should be the mini skirt. Pop culture should be, like a couple days ago, my title card, fondue, right? Pop culture should just be some kind of thing, fashion, right? The new dance, right? The twist, the Watusi, right? The name game, Shirley, Bo Burley, Banana Fana, Faux Furley, right? That's pop culture. Not like politics. And then these wimps, like they're on, I see, like I said, I don't have TV anymore. Got rid of it. Completely got rid of it. Don't have it. Can't watch it. Though DirecTV, I returned the box 6 months ago, and DirecTV is trying to collect from me for like using the service in January or something. It's like, I didn't even have the box, and I've got evidence and proof, but they're going to, they're not going to listen to me. So I got to craft a letter, but it doesn't matter because they don't listen to you when you talk to them and tell them, explain it, and give them the numbers. I'll send them a letter to a collection agency saying this is false, and inaccurate. Attached is proof. And the next thing you know, there'll be a letter from a magistrate saying we're going to collect it, and then they'll add collection fees, and I'll, for something that I didn't have. It's a system gone completely out of control. But I will never pay them, and I don't care. And that's the attitude you have to adopt. I recently got a credit card, even though I swore off them, because I wanted to. Because I wanted to get back at a company that screwed me over 25 years ago, a credit card company. And that I had to hire a lawyer and won against them. And so, you get these credit card offers every day in the mail. And I got one from this company. And I go, you know what? Fuck them. I'm going to get this. just to rub it in, even though there's no one to rub it into and they're not aware of it. But the point of the matter is, it's like, I not only beat you in court, all right, because but guess what? Now I'm even got one of your credit cards, you stupid, idiot, moronic. Big tech, big finance, the corporatocracy. It's an organized crime syndicate. But the problem is, we're living in a world where the majority of people are functionally illiterate. So, and there's an overlap there with the wimps in charge of, big tech and government, right? They're just wimpy. They're such wimpy people, right? Compared to, and who knows, the actors that played some of those characters, at least, may not be, agree with me. It was just a role I was playing. I'm a social justice warrior in real life. Well, I don't care. I'm not talking about you personally. I'm talking about your character. I'm talking about Stan Lee's character, And by the way, this is there's no this is a woman, a black man, and ex-military, guy. I mean, this is diversity. To the extreme. That's the beauty of comic books. See, in other words, living outside of this world of pointing fingers and playing games like with, oh, you said this, playing fear of something, words, or like trying to say someone's this, that, or whatever. Nobody cares about that stuff. That the civil rights movement was over in by the early 70s. It was done, succeeded. Same with the feminist movement and all that kind of stuff. I lived through it. It was over back then. It was over. We were all, the war ended. We were moved into a whole different thing. It was just like music and fun and partying, like I was saying, going to public pools, just having fun. People are so crazy now.
Good morning, Vietnam!
That probably freaked you out.
I fear no evil.
I got so much of this stuff. Yeah, it's just amazing to me that we've gotten to this point.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Kansas is having a pretty bad year, Tornado Alley-wise. Of course, I mean, they always do. Though I always had this thing. I like driving through. Kansas was neat. I remember driving through Kansas on some, I was sidetracked, and I was going to visit a friend one time, and I was ahead of schedule. So I decided I'd just drive through, back in the day when driving was you could have fun driving. Because the last time I drove, which was a while back, my license expired. I don't drive anymore. But the last time I got rid of all that stuff. I just don't even, I just live in a different world right now. And it's cool. But anyway, I was ahead of schedule to meet somebody because they worked. And I knew they weren't going to be out of work and, just driving. Sometimes you get on the road, you make good speed. And so I decided, I don't want to get there and just sit around for 2 hours. So instead, I deviated into Kansas and because I had just pulled over, looked at a map, and saw these odd side back road type of things that I could get back on to where I wanted to go eventually but I could deviate through Kansas. And so I got on these like country roads in Kansas. And the coolest thing was and it was the first time it kind of took me, by surprise, because I'm an Easterner, though I lived in the West Coast too. But I mean, I'm not a Midwesterner. Didn't know the Midwest. I've come to know the Midwest because I've been through there many, 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 many times since. But the first thing, I'm driving down this country road, and there's this truck, might have been a pickup truck, guy in a truck or something like that. And he waves, and I kind of looked, and I probably waved back, but I was like, surprised. That was weird. Must have thought do you think I was somebody else or something? And I drive further down the roads and stuff, and the next car, and somebody waved. And so I got in, I realized that's the thing you do. So it's like every car you pass, you wave. That was Kansas. At least it was back then. This is like 25, 30 years ago. But I always thought, and I remember stopping somewhere in a city, and there's a lot of the Midwest and the South is like that. It's not like that in the North or even in the West. I mean, Northeast or the West. But they have like the main street is like wide as hell, like super wide as hell. I mean, like you could do a double U-turn in it. And I remember stopping at some place just to go in to get something drink or buy a pack of cigarettes or something like that. I used to chain smoke, driving and smoking. It's like that song I have. I don't know if it's on here. 8-track. Driving down the road with a 6-pack and the 8-track on. You should listen to that song. I don't have it over here. That's like, the most politically incorrect song in the world. Driving down the road with the 6-pack and the 8-track on. Tony Caravan. Check that one out on Spotify. Apple Music or Amazon Music. Or you could find it on YouTube, either on my Rock Flux channel. I have like a bunch of my songs. I have a playlist I probably should have included in the list below, but I didn't. But yeah, I used to do that. That was fun, Used to drive, smoke, I don't know, times have changed so much. The simple pleasures in life. Yeah, it was the good times. You know that, don't you?
Okay.
Hey, it's me. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm doing good. I mean, the caffeine's kicking in, that's for sure. I mean, I was a little more animated prior to the caffeine, really. Think about it. Now the caffeine. How should I say? Things that like make people up, give them more of an upper, tend to make me more mellow. What is that? Right? What is that? Just how it is. I don't mind talking about any of these things anymore. I talk about everything from the fact that I've had cancer, operations, ex-girlfriends, ex-wives, weird stuff, odd experiences, travels, who cares? Life's an experience. It's just this thing, And so many people aren't experiencing it in the first person, like I call consciousness, the you of you. They're experiencing it through this filter, this lens. And they see somebody like me, like particularly the beginning of the show, and you're animated and you're having fun and stuff. And they look at you like, what's up with that guy, man? That guy's crazy, or that's weird, man. And it's like, you don't get it. I'm just living life. You know, you can do whatever you want to in this world. It's your life. It's your world. There's a game out there. You can choose your character and you could change anytime you want to. I've said that in the past. You know, it's like you can reinvent yourself, you know, in 10 minutes. Right? You know, you could become a hipster if you feel like it, you know. I mean, you know, I could become John Kay from Steppenwolf. I'd love to play You know what always bothered me about radio? I don't wear glasses in real life. I just wear them to read. Yeah. These aren't the greatest. These are secret agent. Let me see if I can get this voice now. it's Wolfman Jack. Anyway, secret agent spy scopes. These are genuine secret agent glasses. And you're saying, my spy glasses. In other words, it looks like a pair of shades, right? But it's actually, I can record video with these, still pictures, audio and video, right? Even has an SD card that I can take out, you know, the whole 9 yards. But it just looks like a pair of shades. Spy glasses. Let's see. See, everything's backwards on this camera. That's like this. I haven't shown this other thing in a while. But the last time I showed it, we charged it with the Jackery, which you can get from greatsolarstuff.com, which I highly recommend you get. Looks like the iWatch, right? Well, I sure as hell am not going to buy an iWatch. But look, that's the Apple symbol. And it's got all these things on there. Let's see. You know, I can see if I could. The problem with images with this, that's another flaw. There's the time. And it's actually, it says it's the wrong time. So it needs to be plugged into a computer. But anyway, this is an interesting thing. This was the original iPod, like one of the original iPod minis. And somebody came up with the idea that this clip, this was supposed to just clip on your shirt and you have headphones and you'd run, and it has like a Nike app in there to count your steps and goofy stuff like that. Right? That's meaningless. But somebody came up with the idea, hey, we could clip that onto like a wristband and make it a watch. And so all these Apple people were doing, a lot of those people were doing that stuff. And that's how the Apple Watch came into being, because a lot of the people were doing that. And then people were looking, hey, maybe we should make an Apple Watch. Right? That's what happened. It's my theory anyway. My email just popped up and opened all on its own for no known reason. Looking to buy 1970s stereos and turntables. Good luck, buddy. Tony Caravan Live. Tough chicks, hard-ass men. You know, the title cards, what I call memes, are some of the best that I've done over these, soon to be 100 consecutive live shows. Yeah, really. I'd like to make that would really be a neat wall poster too, like 100 of these images all on this giant poster. The problem is I have no fan base. You can't even see. I mean, this my first CD, which is only about two good songs, 2 to 3 good songs on this one. And I got a shitload of these sitting right over here. I don't know what to do with them. It's not that good, but there's 2 or 3 good songs on there, at least out of the 8. But this one, or I should say this one, The Essential Beat Poetry, which was written after that, written, recorded, mastered, and all that stuff. Holy glare. See, I should be able to just bring this image up. But like I say, they won't allow you to do it. So yeah, 10 books, 2 CDs. A creaky 20-year-old chair. Sorry about that. I don't know who that was.
You're listening to Tony Caravan Live.
You were, anyway. The handkerchief is part of my shtick, just like the sound effects and all this other, mass insanity behind me. So one has to wonder, where do we go from here? And I don't mean you and me. I mean, where are things going? Right? You eliminate this. And there's a certain part of culture that just holds on to that, society. There's people, it's like I always say, the gamers are just playing games, right? So they're not paying attention to this stuff. And despite the politicization, is that the right word? Politicization, whatever, of like sports and stuff like that. There's still people that just like are still diehard into sports. So they're not like they're not caught up in the politics of pop culture. Politics as pop culture. Or the cult of personality of, of false idols type of people. I mean, they're caught up in the cult of personality of like somebody who's hitting, a pitcher who's got, so many games, perfect games or something, or somebody with high RBIs or high batting averages and stuff like that. Approaching somebody's home run record or something. And like I say, there's the lovers that are just focusing on that. There's people just, that's all they do. Mess with dating apps or dealing with that kind of stuff. And I guess you have you have Facebook people that are just into the non-political aspect of Facebook or things like that. So they're just looking at, family photos and kids and here's what we had for dinner, or here's what we did on our summer vacation, right? Here's what grandma looked like on Mother's Day. And there's a whole litany of things that people do outside of the pop culture of politics. But the media is fixated on that. And social media, for the most part, is fixated on that. And YouTube is like fixated on that. Even though YouTube still has the DIY things, and you could go down rabbit holes of, science, sci-fi stuff, and ufology and all that stuff. But YouTube's become more and more. It's like clickbait and becoming a YouTube millionaire. Posers. I hate posers. Right? The most annoying things in the world. Like, do they realize how like idiotic they look? And it's such a turnoff too. Because I really used to like YouTube a lot. It's why I do what I do. How I got into being a YouTube, broadcaster or whatever. Because I use the medium. Yeah, I watched it. But now it's like it's really hard. I tell you, I still watch YouTube. But if you counted my hours on YouTube, like I'll watch the playback of my own video. So I spend more time watching the playback of my own video because I'm working on a book. I'm serious about that. The book, the Man Out of Time book, which should be a mind blower. But, my last book was a mind blower, and I don't know if anybody bought it. I think one or two people bought it. I don't know. Kind of think some people bought it. I'm drinking a hell of a lot of caffeine. All my ice cubes melted. Why? They melt so quick. Why does soda get so warm? I feel like, if I'm going to continue this, I could either continue this video for another half hour, in which case I really need to get a couple of ice cubes. Right? I don't have to chat on, and I don't think I could turn it on at this point. It's like it has to be like turned on in the beginning or something. I've been having some problems with YouTube. Like, that's why it's not on, because I would put it on and they would not allow it on for some reason. Like, it wouldn't show up, and it would just be this thing taking up part of the screen, and it was blank, and there was no, so I just said, well, the hell with it. Just turn it off. If they're just messing with me. But yeah, I'm going to just go. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's look here. Show features. Do you want to hear the weather song? I'm only going to be gone for 30 seconds. I just want to get a couple ice cubes. Here's a song about the weather. There's something wrong with the weather. And it's not just about what they tell us in the news. There's no doubt that the climate is changing. But it's not in the way they've been harping about ad nauseum. The jet stream looks like a roller coaster, and the storm tracks are behaving erratically. Our star is heading to a grand solar minimum, and the Earth's magnetic field is weakening. We're seeing more volcanic activity and earthquakes. Anyway, that's one of my beat poetry tracks. I just put 5 ice cubes in my thing. We'll see how long they last. I've got so many different tracks. I mean, that are different styles of music. Sorry for my nose. Is that was a belch. Does my mustache look darker than it did before? Just for men. Why not? Right?
Humans as pets. The topic for this week's discussion, which may prove to be the last one.
That was a show I did 20 years ago. And then I had songs that had like this club beat to them. This is actually the Club Mix Extra. I've done a lot of weird stuff.
Hey, it's me. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing? You know, I don't have on here, and I mean, maybe I do, but I kind of no. See, the problem is the sound effects computer I don't have hooked up to the internet. Because if I do, I've said this before, and I've seen it. They've tried to, like, as I have some old Adobe software that I own it. But they tried to like make contact with Adobe so they could like ruin it, you know, because everything's Creative Cloud now. So I can't put this on the internet. So whenever I want to put something from here, my main computer, over there, I've got to use like a thumb drive and take it over. And I was going to play like Tattoo's Rattlesnake song. But I don't have it over there. So that's another thing I've got to put over there. I have so many of these things. I mean, it's ridiculous. I must have 100 or more of all these various sound effects and stuff. It's crazy. And then I used to do, and like my music shows.
Welcome back. Tony Caravan with you for yet another edition of Music for Martini Drinkers.
You know, that kind of stuff. That was the longest running lounge show on the internet by the late 90s. It's written up in a couple of magazines. See if you can see the ice cubes here. Probably not. No, of course not. You know, think about where the internet should be at this time. Because the stuff I'm doing now is stuff I was doing 20, 25 years ago. And that's why I'm saying these wimps are in charge of stuff. So not only are they like the press agents for the politicians and stuff and the people on the media, the reporters, they're all wimpy people, right? They're all like the type of people from like a schoolyard. He said this. He tried to do this. It's like, you know, grow up, kid. All right? Get a life. You know. Press secretary, reporter. The ginger they have now, right? It's like I used to like gingers, but, you know, not that ginger. Yeah. I like tough chicks and I like women as sex objects. But I also like women for their mind. I like to talk to women. And I like strong women and intelligent women too. But you know, these people, they can't understand that. And it's like that song by that Whitney Houston or not Whitney Houston. Who was it? Shaka Khan. I'm every woman. Remember that song? And it's like, yeah, I like women like that who would say I'm every woman, you know. And there's women like that out there, and they're the coolest women in the world, right? that could, that they're every woman, right? Instead of these people, these wimpy, social justice warriors. What are you worrying about, right? My ankle's itchy. I got a 1970s mustache. I've had it since the 70s. I shaved it off one time. One time. For no known reason. Who cares? It's my look. But yeah, what do you do with it? So you're living in this world and they're putting you through, they're trying to make most people from, like I say, the cradle to the grave, experience life through their filter, right? So it's not your eyes, your ears, right? Your taste, smell, feeling, right? They're defining, right, the parameters. It's like that, outer limits thing, wherever that is. I forget where that is. I have it. It's called something different. Let's see if I could find it. Here it is. Well, this one.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Hey, it's me. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. But it's like, that's it. They control everything. And they're putting people, depriving you of free thought, right? Free speech, the experience of life. And you're allowing them to be like filtering it. You're almost enjoying it. You're like, what do they call those people? A glutton for punishment is what it is. You're a glutton for punishment. Why? Why are you doing that? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Let's see if I put a filter on my, I wonder which filter this one is. I could find the camera. There we go. That's a weird one. This gives you like a look of the mayhem that's over there. It's like a bookshelf with all kinds of stuff on it. You can't see what's on that side. I got all this goofy stuff. I think I have a fisheye lens too. Let's look at that one. The dust. This house, I need a maid, but I can't afford one. And I don't trust them. Let's see if this one does. If I can find it. Where's the filter? Oh, there we go. Now this. Now that would be a fisheye lens. So that shows you even more. You can actually see the base here. It's that kind of amazing when you think about it. you know. I do that for a reason. Those are like filters, you know, they're camera lenses. It's like they're giving you life. You're experiencing life through the lens of another person, you know, or the corporatocracy, the big tech, you know, big pharma, you know, this organized crime syndicate, right? Pretty much based in Europe, that's like destroyed Western civilization and then led to the downfall of America, the US, you know, the former United States, which people are still in denial of. While there's ice cubes in this cup, I'll put some more caffeinated drink. Man, I'm going to be wired. I'm going to have to drink around noon today just to get, you know, neutralize this caffeine. List of things to do. Soil for tree. I have an apple tree out there that's about 8 feet tall that I grew or planted a seed that I ate an apple from. It's 8 feet tall now. I haven't gotten apples yet. It takes about 4 or 5 years till you get apples. I hope that this year I might maybe get an apple, comes a dozen apples out of it. I have this other tree. It's like a mulberry tree or something. It's against a fence next to this psycho lady that I live next door to. And her freaky daughters, they're like loons. I mean, seriously, mental. But like not people that I have sympathy for, like, you know, mentally, you know, someone who suffered from a mental problem or mental illness. No, these people are psychos. You know, it's a different thing. These are like psychos. And they were out there. I was looking out my window from the second floor the other evening before I was going to bed. And they were like standing on ladders and stuff. And they were cutting down the tree that was like over by the fence. They were trying to like cut down part of my tree. But because it blocks their view. Like I've totally made it an attempt to block any vision from that. I don't want to see those people and I don't want them to see me because I enjoy my yard. I enjoy being out there. I like laying down in my lounge chair and getting a suntan and stuff. This lady used to like hang over the fence and talk, and she's like a bigoted type of person, loud mouth, using the N word. You know, in a neighborhood that is diverse by, you know, definitely diverse. Like I'm the minority here, and this woman's like saying this stuff. It's like I don't want to be associated with that freak. So I've been like trying to grow trees and shrubs and stuff just to build up a natural boundary. That's just a little aside. I mean, I normally don't let things like that bother me, and I didn't let it bother me. It is kind of funny in a sense that these three psychopaths would be like, you know, and they seem to be like giggling like they were accomplishing something. You know, it's like people like that, you know, but I don't want to, my ideas have no conversation, no contact with them whatsoever because that just eats at people. But normally that would be the type of person I would say, hey, congratulations. That's good. Good job. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, great. You cut down part of my tree. Good. Congratulations. You think you're going to be able to see from your second story window while I'm laying out on my lounge chair? You're going to get like some cheap thrill and masturbate because I'm out, so, you know, getting a suntan in my backyard and you're some old bag. Well, guess what? Even though you cut down part of the tree, that tree is going to fill out and you ain't going to be able to see anything from your second floor window. So get yourself a vibrator and, you know, and find somebody else to jerk off to. There's freaks out there, man. Psychos. And those are the people that's part of the problem too. that's not really a problem. As I'm saying, you have to avoid this stuff. Just like you avoid the corporatocracy and this organized crime syndicate, you avoid the guys who might have fighter dogs, you avoid the psychopathic neighbors. You avoid all, just avoid all that stuff and live your life and live a good quality of life. That's what I do. Yeah. If you want to have a drink, have a drink. Don't let somebody tell you you shouldn't be drinking. If you want to smoke a cigar, smoke a fucking cigar. I've said this 1,000 times. I'd rather die a couple years earlier and have lived a good quality of life and felt at peace and happiness and all that stuff than live a few years longer and have not enjoyed the experience of life. And part of the experience of life is skin, feeling, taste, smell, hearing, seeing, right? It's not through the filter or the lens of somebody else. And not letting psychopaths and narcissistic sociopaths like dictate your life and walk on eggshells like these wimps at social media and YouTube, right? Don't say that or we'll take down your video or give you a strike. And if you get 3 strikes, you're out. Shut the fuck up, man. What a fucking stupid ass baby, childish, wimpy thing. 3 strikes, you're out. What a bunch of assholes, right? Get a life. These people, I mean, they really just crack me up. Social justice warriors. Okay? Get a life. Just enjoy life. Get laid. That's a biggest problem, I think, with half the people today. Just get laid. Get drunk. Instead, there's too much of this actually going on. The stone culture. They want people to just be stoned. And I know that take a lot of people who do get stoned, they take offense when I say that. But it's like, no, because I know, man, I've been around, No, high, it's not the same thing, man. They want that's why they were legalizing marijuana all over the place. I don't care if they do. And I've smoked it, and if they legalize it here where it's more available, yeah, I'll get high every now and then for entertainment purposes occasionally, right? But it's like this idea of everybody being stoned all the time. That just means like, oh yeah, man, you're too uptight, man. You gotta chill out, man. What are you worried about all this stuff? Who cares, chill out, man. Tony, you're like too tense. You're too serious about just chill out, man. I'm like, no, man. I want to experience life to the fullest. That means if I want to get high, then that would be an experience. If I want to get drunk, that would be an experience. If I want to smoke a cigar, it would be an experience. If I want to get laid, that's be an experience. If I want to get a suntan, that's an experience. I don't want to have one thing. I don't want to be a drunk. Like I go up the street and it's 7:00 in the morning and there's these guys in this bar. They're drinking drink until, all day. They go home and pass out. No. I'm not saying you should sit around chain smoking and chain drinking. And I don't think you should be high all day either. Right? You're missing out on the experience of life. It's just like being a news junkie or spending your whole day in social media and Twitter. Right? It's the same thing. So I'm not criticizing, the thing itself. But it's like everything in moderation, man. You got to live in life in moderation. You're depriving yourself of life, of what the purpose of life is, because you're seeing it through a lens, somebody else's lens, or a chemical lens, or a whatever. And that's just another thing to think about. A lot of people just can't grasp that.
Did you accidentally inject yourself with some kind of psychotropic agent?
No. I had to slurp my drink because I polished off the second 24-ounce Diet Pepsi. And this is the end. This is the end, my friend. Father. Right? The end part of that. Mother, I want to. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So what does any of this stuff mean? And why did I put those superheroes up there? Just to show the contrast. Just to show the contrast. And the idea of true diversity, which means diversity of life, of experience. You know, and that people have different interests. And you know, that's the beauty of the former United States of America, is that we're still Americans because those of us who aren't pigeonholed and aren't suckered into the cult of personality or politics as pop culture. And that must really piss off people like at CNN, whose ratings are like 1/3 of 1% of the population. Yet you, all right, I guarantee it, you, because most people are like this. This chair keeps falling down. You think CNN is popular, or you think people watch Fox or MSNBC. MSNBC, Fox, and CNN combined reach less than 1% of the U.S. population. That means 99% of the people aren't watching them at any given time. 99%. The same 99% of the people who did not die from the plague. Think about that. The same, 99% of the people that are just doing other stuff and not looking at life through the lens or the filter of something else, or distorting themselves completely like that or this.
Did you accidentally inject yourself with some kind of psychotropic agent?
I think all three of you popped your stoppers.
It's like, everything in moderation. Enjoy life. Experience it. It's experience. You want to do DMT? Do DMT. Go down to South America and do ayahuasca. If I were younger, had the money and all that kind of stuff, I'd probably maybe try it. I don't know. Maybe not. I've learned a lot about the mind, especially when I was doing a research for my book Codex about consciousness, the pineal gland and just how everything works. That, and the idea of living life to the fullest and having cancer and major cancer surgery, kidney surgery. Yeah, I've had all that kind of stuff. Heart problems, earlier on. And, and so you come to grips with mortality. You tend to see life, and I've always seen life very clearly, the propaganda never worked for me. You know, it was that I was in a school. It was a problem for teachers and stuff because I would be like, I wouldn't buy into their indoctrination bullshit, right? And then, you know, so I was considered what, a radical or something. But but whatever I went and whatever I did in life, I had this successful life. Yeah. Never got fired from a job, never went to apply for a job and didn't get it. Right. Well, there was one TRW down in DC one time. But I'm just as glad I didn't get that. That was one of those government contractor jobs. I talked about some of that contracting stuff yesterday. That was like, I didn't want to be too involved in you know, in that kind of world, the contractor world. You know. And instead, you know, so I came through the other end free and can see things, you know, the way they really are and get into experiencing life, but still messing around with stuff, you know. I don't care. I mean, I stopped drinking caffeine for 5 years. And then I did this show and I started drinking caffeine again. Just so I could use my morning show mug. Jessica Jones. My kind of woman, man. But you know, I couldn't really. I'm a confirmed bachelor now. Don't forget to get this. TonyCaravanLive.com. No, TonyCaravanLive.locals.com. You like become a member of my page there, you gotta download the JPEG. And if you become a member of my page there, you could contact me. And if the JPEG isn't enough for you, I'll send you a personal PDF copy of it. So you can make a big, giant certificate, put on your wall, and have a doctor of truth. Because that's what you got from watching these things. See, now you can see the Mac, original Mac, Mulder's poster. So, yeah, man, you know, I'm a cool dude. You know, what the hell? I'm a fucking cool dude.
Hey, it's me. How you doing, man?
I have fun with stuff. I don't care about any of the nonsense. I don't see life through their lens, through their filter. I see it through my own eyes, feel it through my own skin, and taste it through my own mouth, and hear it through my own ears. Right? Broadcast this. I don't care about these wimps. You know, they mean nothing to me. They don't anger me. I talk about them. I criticize them just to point out stuff for you. It's part of your coursework. The reason you know, deserve a Ph.D. from this class, this seminar, this 100 episodes, 100 classes you've attended, right? Get a doctorate degree for that. And you can do the same thing. You know, it's amazing. You could change your life. Like I said, you're free to do it. You can reinvent yourself at the end of this video today. You can do whatever you want to. Be whoever you want to be. And stop being what they tell you to be. And all that. You know, there's insanity going on right now. Not that there always hasn't been. But I mean, the control freaks have cemented control. And these people who believe that there's like some kind of like hope for 2022, 2024, you're caught up in the politics as pop culture, but 99% of the people aren't doing that. So if you're one of those people, you're in the extreme minority. If you're one of those, I heard 25% of the people haven't gone out of their house in a year because of the plague, but 99% plus of the people haven't died from it. So if you're one of those people that's like scared shitless, right, of SARS, something that's been around since 2002, SARS-2, you're misrepresenting. No, I'm not. I freaking know the whole thing. I know everything about it. I had the test. I got the proof. I was tested. I tested negative. It said SARS on it. SARS-2. That's what they're testing people for. Check yourself for antibodies. You know? Nah, it's a crazy world run by, whatever. It's a Lenin line. Insane people are running the world for insane reasons, whatever his line was. You know what I'm talking about. It's an organized crime syndicate. Big tech, big data, big pharma, big ag, military industrial complex, central bankers, the Davos set, World Economic Forum, Great Reset, right? The former United States has been cemented into an authoritarian state. And now they've got some ginger girl as their spokesperson. She's a ginger. Yeah. Do you ever fuck a ginger? They're good. But fuck that. Fuck this show. I'm done with this fucking show.
Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.